Welcome everybody. My name is Anikó Kristóf and I like to introduce my research. I would like to talk about the visual self-representation of women in a masculine-dominated environments. In my research, I was curious what visual tools they used, colors, shapes, settings, or female roles are used in their self-representation. I have chosen such group as the subject of my research which activities related to the image of force or violence. I chose two groups, huntresses and bodybuilder women. The goal was not to define what masculine and feminine characteristics are. The determination was made because of demographic data available regarding these groups. The groups I studied got mostly male participants in significantly higher proportions. The proportion of hunters among hunters is only 12% on average in worldwide. For bodybuilders, there is no exact number of how many people practice this sport, but women only started competing in official competitions from 1979. Of course, their numbers are now much higher than they used to be, as there are plenty of competition tailored to women, but many statistics show there is a higher proportion of men among the participants than women. In my research, I conducted a content analysis. I analyzed 250 images per group on the Instagram interface using a preset codebook. And why did I choose Instagram instead of other social media platforms? I wanted to pick something where it's easy to find these group pictures. Instagram is a completely image-based platform, which is why it is perfect to be the subject of a visual communication research. The two groups I examined can be found by hashtags. On Instagram, it is not possible to create groups, only filter the individual profiles, hashtag or locations. With the help of the hashtags, I was able to identify the two groups that make up my corpus. These two are hashtag huntress and hashtag bodybuilding woman. In the next section, I would like to present my research findings. The two most common categories was among the huntress, the private non-hunter photos and portrait photos. In the pictures, if an animal appeared, it was usually the shot wild animal, hunting dog or falcon. The weapon appeared in very few images. It was shown in only 18 pictures, of which 7 were company profiles advertising their products. There were only 17 pictures of trophy photos. These images were usually sterilized images. Blood, for example, never appeared. The two most common categories was among the bodybuilder women's the body representation and the bodybuilding training photos. The dumbbells, as the main accessory of bodybuilding, appeared in 77 images during training or as a prop for representation. Bodybuilder women try to highlight their body and highlight their muscles. For example, they often wear clothes that cover little and show off their elaborate body perfectly, like tiny tracksuits, bikini or underwear. It was common for pictures to be taken during training and to focus on just one muscle group. The two groups use different tactics in their representation. Huntresses try to hide the fact of hunting, killing and blood, while bodybuilder women try to highlight the implication of the sport. This is also encouraged by the community. They usually try to convey the message that a strong body is equal to a strong will. Bodybuilder women embrace images and symbols that symbolize strength, while huntresses hide the most important factor involved in hunting, the killing. There are also differences in their appearance. Huntresses got an elegant look, usually in a very romantic way, while the bodybuilder women try to highlight the implication of the sport. They often show up in photos during training, sweaty, with an imperfect look, but they got heavily sexualized images. In the course of my research, I faced a number of limitations. Therefore, I consider it worthwhile to expand the research later. It needs to be examined in the long term and involving multiple groups, not just these two. Needs to involving men in these groups and compare them, and the research should be supplemented by interviews. Thank you for your attention. If anyone has any question about my research, please feel free to contact me.